So here we are, 23 episodes in of the best Nova Launcher setups, and yet again we have 3 new setups to showcase in today's episode. Now, this week over on my Twitter account, link below by the way, I actually featured a range of different setups and asked everyone to let me know which of the setups they wanted to be featured in today's episode. And collectively, we all came up with the 3 that you're about to see. So if in future you want to influence the setups seen in these episodes, then make sure you follow me over there using the link down below. But aside from that, let's cut the chat and get straight into the episode. So starting off with a vibrant and colorful yet clean and minimal one-page setup. This one has been sent in by Prathmesh. It's got a really neat design, so let's unpack everything that goes into making this setup look and feel the way that it does. So starting off with that wallpaper, this is actually from the MIUI 10 collection of stock wallpapers, which may be a bit tricky to find if you don't own a phone that runs the MIUI software skin. So luckily, Prathmesh has been kind enough to send it through directly, which is great. Although as an added touch, he did also slightly blur the wallpaper using the aptly named Blur Wallpaper app. And this helps the icons and widgets to stand out just that little bit more, which is always appreciated. From there, up the top, we have a simple quote widget, and this comes from the Trident for Zupa or KWGT widget pack. The widget is called Quote 7 if you're looking for it, and you could obviously modify this widget to say anything that you like, and also to launch into any app upon tapping it. Below that, we have a time, date, and day widget from the Huck for KWGT widget pack, widget 59 to be precise, although the date font has been modified ever so slightly so that it is thinner than the font we're given straight out of the box. I've also got this set up to launch into my calendar app, but again, you could modify this to suit your own needs. Now, just below that, we have an arrow indicator icon. I'm not 100% sure if Prathmesh got this from a specific widget app in particular, but he did also send it through directly, so that is great. Down the very bottom of this home screen, we have 3 application icons and 3 folder icons, all of which are taken from the visually appealing Talitha round icon pack. And having those 3 folder icons means we can place as many apps on our home screen as we like, which will please those of you who enjoy not having to swipe into the app drawer very much. And speaking of the app drawer, swiping up presents us with a fairly stock looking layout, although the Talitha icon pack looks great here as well. And up the top, to go along with the folders on the desktop, we have 5 folder icons, which again means we have quick and easy access to our most used apps, which is very nice indeed. Aside from that, that is it for this one-page setup. Great job all around. Love it when we get minimalism and functionality all baked into a single setup. So next up, we've got a striking single page setup sent in by Trevor. This one has been designed with one-handed use as the top priority, which is excellent. So let's jump in and take a look at what he's used to make this setup work. Starting with that wallpaper, this has been taken from the Backdrops Wallpapers application. You'll find it by searching for Seabreeze, and I've verified this and it is there at the time of making this video. And even though you can only see part of this wallpaper, I still really like the look of it, and I think it adds a nice touch of variety to this setup. Now coming down to the bottom portion of the screen, and here we have a large self-contained KWGT widget designed by Trevor himself. Not only does this look really creatively interesting, it also means recreating this setup on your own device is ridiculously easy. Within this widget, we have quite a few different elements. So up the top is a day, date, and weather portion, and tapping on each of these takes you to the calendar and the frog weather shortcut application respectively, which is great. And then below that, we have a battery percentage bar, which tapping on it launches into the battery section within the settings menu. And then below that, we have a simple clock, and this, as you can probably guess, launches into the clock app upon tapping it. Then below that, we have 3 shortcuts that launch into the phone app, the Google Messages application, and the app drawer respectively. So heaps and heaps of functionality available within just this widget alone, and it all looks and feels very fluid and seamless. Then below that, we have a dock of 5 application icons, each of which come from the Squircle X icon pack, which I think looks pretty great. And 4 of these icons are actually folder icons, which again makes for lots and lots of functionality. It's a seriously well designed and integrated home screen that looks awesome. So then launching into the app drawer takes us to a fairly condensed layout and design. Icons are again from the Squircle X icon pack, and up the top we have 4 folder icons, meaning you can access your favorite apps quickly and easily. But that's just about it for this setup. Super unique in my opinion, really easy to get loaded onto your own device as well, so definitely worth trying out for yourself. And finally today we have another single page setup sent in by a user who goes by the name of OHM. This one is heavily retro themed, which I really dig. It's also quite a bit different to the other 2 in today's episode in terms of design. So let's check out what we've got going on. As always, starting with that wallpaper, this unique backdrop comes from the 80s wallpaper application. Now, there are a few on the Play Store that go by that same name, so ensure you use the link down in the notes below. But this is clearly what gives this setup that strong retro vibe, which again, I really like the look of. Up the top, we have a day, date, and time widget taken from the Oshia for KWGT widget pack. This is using the widget called Pokemon 16, but the colors of both the date and day have been modified to achieve what we can see here. I've also got this set up to launch into the calendar app upon tapping on it. Below that, we have a row of 5 application icons. These are using icons from the Grid icon pack, which suits this setup perfectly. Although if you wanted to increase the functionality of this setup, then you could of course set these up with swipe gestures, which is super easy to do. Coming below that once again, and here we have a music player widget taken from the K Music 2 widget pack for KWGT. This one is called Widget 204, although it has been heavily modified so that the text and controller buttons have a colored gradient and the background has been changed to black. It can take a bit of finicking, but if you do know your way around KWGT, then it shouldn't take too long. Aside from that, swiping into the app drawer originally presented me with an unmodified looking app drawer, and so I took the liberty to change things up a bit so we have what we can see here. I think this suits the rest of the setup quite nicely, and because I'm using the free version of the Grid icon pack, I've also hidden any app that didn't have an icon available, which does make the app drawer look awesome, but if you load this setup onto your own device and find that a range of apps you use are hidden, then that is the reason why. But again, that's it for this setup. Love the unique look of it. It does obviously require some modification to some of the widgets, but it's a setup that I'm sure lots of you will enjoy having on your own device. But aside from that, that is it for today's episode. As always, links to everything mentioned throughout the video have been included down in the notes below. It's all there. You guys know the drill. Finally, let me know which setup featured in today's episode was your favorite by voting in the poll over on the side. That lets me know which setups you want to see more of in the future. But if you want even more of a say, then again, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter account using the link down below. But aside from that, that is it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you later.